I bow to all the seekers of truth. I explained to you yesterday that seekers are a special category of human beings. And they have to first seek their self. They are to be blessed first, and then the rest of the world will follow them. Dr. Warren has explained to you at length the connection between the gross and the subtle, how the different centers are related to different plexuses. Very clearly, when I did my medicine, the names of these plexuses were different. Now they are different. And every day it is changing because they are finding new and new things. But when you get your self-realization, when you become the self, then you don't live in any relative world. Today the problem of religions who are fighting among themselves, like Christians have so many cults, Hindus have so many cults, Muslims have so many divisions. This is only because they are understanding God through their mental projections. Because they are not on absolute state. When it comes to mental projection, one can go on interpreting the same thing in 100 ways. Like Bible can be interpreted this way or that way intellectually. When you are in the absolute, then absolute is only one. You cannot have many cults, many interpretations. There cannot be many. So when you become the self, the first thing that happens to you, that you enter into the state of absolute. Your hand starts speaking. On your fingertips you start feeling it. It doesn't think. It just gives you the indications. Supposing you want to find out, is there God? You have to just put your hands like this and ask the question 3 times, is there God? From your heart. And you will be amazed. The vibrations will be very strong on your hands. This is the proof that there is God. The time has come to prove the existence of God. Prove the existence of all-pervading power. You turn round to the all-pervading power. Put your hands towards Him and ask, is there the power of God which is all-pervading, which is doing all the living work? You start getting cool breeze in your hand tremendously. This is the power for the first time you feel when you get your self-realization. This is the power that does all the living works. These flowers, they become fruits. The buds become the flowers. The trees grow. You have parasympathetic working in you, which is, they call it autonomous. But what is auto? Who is the auto? That's the spirit. They don't know what to call it. They have got a name for it. Exactly the same as it should be, it's the auto. But by giving a name, you do not explain what it is. It is the spirit. The spirit does all the autonomous work within ourselves. That is the one that works out our parasympathetic. But still, as long as your spirit is not in your awareness, as long as it has not come in your attention, it is just a witness. It is just witnessing what you are doing. It is looking at you. We have that reflection in your heart. People who get heart attacks are of 2 types. One who have lethargic heart and another one who are active heart. Those who suffer from active hearts are the people who are very futuristic, right-sided, who think too much about the future. And the other ones, the one who have a lethargic heart, are the people who are left-sided, who are very much conditioned, who are worried about the past, who live with their ideas of sufferings. But once the spirit is awakened within you, it looks after you. It takes over, and you become a person who is guided by your spirit, which is absolute. And that's why it explains why in religion there are so many complications. Whatever you want to decide through your ego, through your mental projection is linear. It moves in a linear direction and it recoils back. That's why you have seen all human enterprises have ended up into trouble. We tried with science, we become the creators of atom bomb which destroys us. We try with anything, even with emotional side we start. What we find, we get bound to it, get miseries and troubles in our emotional endeavors also. So, one reaches a point where one realizes that we have not reached that completion, that epitome, that higher state where we become knowledgeable to the absolute knowledge of everything. At a human level, we know so many things at absolute level. Like we know this is a wood, a dog may not know about it. We know about this, but we do not know whether this wood has been touched by some saint or not. We are not sure about it. We cannot say that is this a holy wood or not. We cannot make it out. Somebody might say, this is the one who was touched by somebody. Somebody might say, no, how can you say that? There's no way of deciding what is the truth because you are not at the state of absolute. All your theories that are prevalent, like we say, capitalism, communism, all these isms that we talk of, are also relative. For example, if I say, I am the greatest capitalist, supposing I have all the powers, then I am the greatest capitalist. But I am the greatest communist because I cannot live with them. I have to share with all of you. I have to move about. I have to travel and travel and travel, that I should share with all of you. I cannot enjoy it alone. So I am the greatest communist as well. All the theories that we have in our minds have come out of the unconscious to create that gross part of it. Like people talk of United Nations. United Nations seems to be a myth if you face it. You can't understand this kind of a United Nations where everybody is pulling each other's legs. There's a problem on how many jobs should be given to whom, how much pay, and everything dealing on very gross levels. But you see that when you become a realized soul, there are 14 nations now were represented in India. And all of them, if you had seen, very happy people, extremely joyous, such friendship, such enjoyment, and a little bit of fun, of ragging each other sometimes, pulling each other's legs, and then again enjoying and mirth. Real enjoyment. No quarreling, no fighting, no question of race, nothing of the kind. This kind of the new race has to be evolved out of the people. So this is what happens to you, that you reach the state of absolute. So there cannot be cults in Sahaja Yoga, there cannot be a division of ideas, there cannot be any interpretation because it is so much within you. Now the subjective and objective, we call it in a very funny way. For us, objective is whatever is gross outside and subjective is something arbitrary. But once you become a realized soul, you become really the subjective. You really become the subjective in the sense your subject acts, but which is an absolute subject. So everybody has that absolute within themselves. Self is the universal being within yourself. Is the universal being, and that is in everyone. It relates to the same. It's an universal truth. So you cannot have two opinions about it. There is no question of having opinions because it is so, it's a fact. And whatever is the fact that you accept, so the spirit is the truth. There's no other way to find out the truth. Anything you want to find out, you have to find out through your vibrations, which is the blessing of your self-realization. Without self-realization, there is diversity. You find people are so diverse, they are contradictory, they fight each other, they have such problems that have no solutions. They live like parallel lines where they never meet. But suddenly you find all these parallel lines meet at the South Pole or the North Pole in the same way. They meet at the same point, what we call the spirit. At that time, you have no problems solving your problems because there is no problem left. You are beyond it.